Okay, it's 9 o'clock. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Nice brisk morning out there. I think we'll begin by, if everybody's had a chance to look at the minutes, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes of Monday, March 9th, 2026, as written.
I'll move.
I'll second. Okay, so McCurry moved, Peterson second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
I have to abstain as I was absent.
Okay, Thompson abstains, so passes 3-0-1. I guess that's how to state it. Those are long minutes. We have two abatements. I would entertain a motion to approve two tax abatements in the amount of $63.
Also move.
I'll second.
Thompson moved, Curry seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 4-0. We have a couple miscellaneous motions. One's for a payroll notice. Well, they're both for payroll notices. Sorry, I was looking for the payroll notice. There it is. Okay, I would entertain a motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the Coffee County payroll notice for Shelley Duffy, Sheriff's Office Assistant Cook, part-time, new hire, subject to new hire IPP, wage classification 20-1, wage $18.41, effective March 9th, 2026.
I'll make that motion.
Seconded.
McCurry moved, Parker seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? It passes 4-0. And entertain a motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the Coffee County payroll notice for Scarlett de San Diego Enriquez, Sheriff's Office Assistant Cook, full-time, new hire, subject to new hire IPP, wage classification 20-1, wage $18.41, effective March 9, 2026.
I'll move.
I'll second. Thompson moved, Peterson seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 4-0. And that takes us to our 9:05 appointment. So we're running 2 minutes ahead.
Is that me?
Yes.
I'm up.
EMP Shields, Rowdy Meyer. We have you down status of the Lebo building, but I think just
Okay.
whatever you want to talk about,
Okay.
status overall.
Yeah, first, thanks for letting me talk. We've been hearing a lot of, just small town rumblings, and we just thought it'd be nice to come and talk to the commission directly and allow you guys to ask whatever questions that you want. If I can't answer it, I'll just say I can't answer it in this format, and we'll just move on. But a couple things real quick. EMP Shield over the last couple of years gone through a lot of transition, and for a lot of different reasons. First things is, through the CHIPS Act, which I know didn't end great for you guys, didn't end great for us either. And, at the end of the day, I'm going to be out about $4.5 million. So, which is fine. That's the bet you take. But what it caused EMP Shield to do is just to get nimble. And it's just a process we go through in, kind of in normal business. But some other things happened kind of along the way also. The threat level changed. And so what we were used to doing and what we were used to dealing with all of a sudden grew by 300%, which caused me to go and hire all new engineers and a whole bunch of new stuff. That, obviously we're working through. I've got new products that are coming out. I got a new set coming out in May, another new set coming out in September. We've also partnered with a company called Meditech. The guy that runs that company his name's Bill Radowski. Bill's the former chairman of the EMP Commission, and working on meeting those new standards. And so that's been very, very helpful to us. Conversations with the government are ongoing. Chairman Peterson joined me last week in a meeting with Congressman Schmidt. Again, I'm not going to get into details in this format, but so those things are still ongoing. In reference to the Lebo building, just so you guys know, we've invested $1.3 million after purchasing the Lebo building in equipment, in air conditioning, in heating, in floors, in all of those kind of things. And we'll continue to do that, as we can. We are producing PVC boards out there. We have an assembly line there. It is producing things. Also, we've, again, leased a piece of that to SSM. So part of the building's been leased out. Really just to kind of summarize it all is just to say, that we as a company made the decision to get lean. And we're going to continue that for some period of time until things change, until we can meet those new standards, because it requires us to retool and just do a whole lot of things. So anyway, I wanted you guys just to hear directly from me.
I'd like to ask a question.
Okay, absolutely.
I live in Lebo and everything,
Okay.
and I never see the gates unlocked on it.
Good.
You say you're producing boards out there?
Yeah, so have you ever seen our assembly line up here?
No.
Okay, so we have an automated assembly line that basically what it does, it picks up like, let's say, a diode or a capacitor or whatever, places it into a board, and they run automated. And so it's our backup line. So we keep it running because you don't want that stuff to just sit. The one that I have up here in Burlington can meet my 100% of our capacity today. But so we do keep running them down there. So we just don't do a lot with it.
So you're just saying it's just being ran just for basic maintenance?
Keep it up. Yeah.
So is that set up similar to the one that you have down here?
Yes, very similar.
Very similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, and there's plans for the Lebo building. Again, I don't want to talk about it in this format, but we do have plans out there. But part of it just comes down to recouping from the CHIPS Act and, going through this process. And then, again, I had a double whammy right in a row. CHIPS Act plus the new standard I have to meet. So I'm just going to have to work my way through it. But I would welcome questions. I mean, I would welcome.
When do you think you'll start having employees in Lebo? That's the biggest question I got hit up about that.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Any answer I give you would be completely pulling it out of my back pocket. Because at the end of the day, it's all economics.
Are you talking 6 months, 2 years, 5 years?
Yeah, if we had, and I hate to say it this way, this is such a horrible thing to say, if I had another Chinese spy balloon fly over tomorrow, it'd be quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, it's a problem. I don't have an answer to
I
it.
understand.
I just don't.
Yeah, we appreciate your honesty.
Yeah, I just don't know.
I do know there's a lot of people, when all this came down, thinking we're gonna have employees there, and people are wanting jobs there.
100%.
So,
And we'd love to provide them.
yeah.
But at the same time, I have a responsibility to the employees there today. I have a responsibility to the shareholders. I have a responsibility to keep it efficient and keep it doing what it's doing. The company, although we've had to eat really about $4.5 million, we still have no debt. We're still running.
And the reason you laid off was just to take care of business. I mean, that's...
Partly, that's half of it. There's another piece of it too, which is when you have to take your technology that you use every day and completely revamp it, right? Make it quicker, make it, be able to take more.
Right.
That takes years of engineering. I mean, this is not,
Yeah.
right now I have 56,000 units on the shelf. I don't want to produce another 56,000 units when I have a whole new technology on its way.
Sure.
That's just silly business.
Yeah.
I just can't do that. So there's a bunch of reasons why that happened. And again, if you guys would like specifics, I'd be happy to meet in the executive session. I can talk more in depth of some of those things that I can't share here, but.
Well, I think that'd be nice, I think. I don't know, is Mr. Dewey on his way or?
Well,
Mr.
speak
Dewey
to
on his way?
We were just contemplating going into executive session. Excuse me.
Trade secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we want to talk specifics, I'm not going to talk about them on YouTube, so.
Why, sure.
That's understandable.
Yeah, I mean,
It'd be, what, confidential data relating to financial affairs or trade secrets of a corporation?
Probably financial, I know
Yeah.
it could potentially be both.
Yes.
So, the analysis to go in under that subsection requires, if you were to talk about the financial affairs of your PNP in the open, would that cause a competitive harm to your business?
I'm less concerned about the financial side as I am concerned about what our future plans are, because I have to go out there and compete.
So,
Yeah.
when it comes to the trade secrets, what your business is doing and the products that you are producing or engineering or whatnot could cause a competitive harm to your business if that's carried out in
Could.
the open.
Yeah.
And that's what you're trying to protect.
That-
I'm just trying to go through the analysis.
100%,
So
100%.
He kind of gives that for the benefit of
Yeah.
everybody watching, the
Yeah, 100%.
explanation of why.
Well, and then also the threat level in our country's changed. I won't talk about that here. I mean, there's a bunch of things in it that is just not.
I'm just thinking if somebody's
Yeah.
gonna make a complaint
Mhm.
about going in to talk about
Yeah.
BNP Shields, financial affairs or
Yeah.
trade secrets,
Yeah.
is there coverage for the board?
100%.
So, and I know from my previous conversations with you, you're a proponent of everything being open and transparent. but there-
100%.
But there are certain things that
Mhm.
could cause a problem
Mhm.
if they were discussed in an open session.
Yeah.
And this is the.
It could have adverse effects on the company. And
Okay.
obviously, I'm not going to bet that.
So,
Yeah, sure.
so for somebody on the outside who wants to complain, I'm not sure what else, I mean, do you guys feel that's enough to?
Oh, I think he's got things that he definitely can't talk about that might be helpful, that you guys feel the same way.
Yep.
It could give us a better understanding of what you got going on. I'm good with it, but
I'm good with it.
Yeah, I think as you said, the focus is more on the trade secret
Mhm.
component and your internal, trying to think of the right wording, I was thrown off, I usually have my script with me. The type of things that you guys are working on and products that are being engineered and rolled out could create a competitive harm for you with others in the industry. And that is something you'll be talking about and discussing with the commissioners related to PNP. Is that
I
fair?
think it
Fair.
would be related to the project development agreement still. Is that still kind of what you guys are,
I'm happy to discuss that.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, that would kind of be why
Yeah.
you guys are, have questions.
But I think it's a overall update as
Mhm.
EMP is in the county and has been in partnership with the county for some time.
And can we include Jenny as Economic Development Director?
I have no objection.
You guys okay with that? That's fine. Okay, so. So this would be to discuss confidential data relating to trade secrets of a corporation. Is that wording correct?
I think so. I mean, it could touch on some of the financial affairs, but the majority of
So we can put financial affairs / trade secrets. Casey's staying caught up here. All right. All right. Yeah, are you able to see the motion, Wade?
Can you pass that over to Casey? It flipped to the weather and now it won't load back on the camera page.
It's cold.
They love technology.
You don't need to know the weather on that.
I shut it off and back on a couple times and went to Canva, but it won't pull up.
Let's take mics.
I can, I just didn't wanna Skype him and have him walk in with it.
I think with the discussion, I think the motion is fine.
Okay. All right, well, I will move to enter into executive session for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Sorry, motion's jumping around on me. To include each of the commissioners, the MP Shield board member Rowdy Meyer, Economic Development Director Jenny Tapman, and County Councilor Wade Bowie II to discuss confidential data relating to financial affairs and trade secrets of a corporation under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319 B4.
I'll second it.
Okay, I made the motion. Seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? That passes 4-0. And we will return at, we will return at 9:34. Did I say 9:34?
Yes,
Okay, we gotta wait a
9:34.
Oh, 9:34, perfect time. We'll go back in executive session for the 10 minutes, is that what we're?
Yeah.
So it'll be the same reason, same people, whatever. Now I will read the entire thing. And I will move to enter into executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the commissioners, EMP Shield board member Rowdy Meyer, Economic Development Director Jenny Tapman, and County Councilor Wade Bowie II to discuss confidential data relating to financial affairs and trade secrets of a corporation under Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319 B4.
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That passes 4-0, and we will return at 9:46. Okay, we're back in open session. No action taken following those two executive sessions. Next, we don't have any further business to take care of on that, so.
We could do that later if we wanted to.
Yeah, somewhere down the road. Next on our agenda, and we have Appraiser Connie Lawrence, and you're requesting an executive session. Have you, what's it regarding exactly?
Personnel,
Non-elected personnel, is it job performance?
Elected personnel, job performance.
Are you gonna go in, Wade?
That's up to you.
Yes.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to enter into executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the commissioners, Appraiser Connie Lawrence and County Councilor Wade Bowie II to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel regarding job performance under Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319B1.
I'll make that motion.
Second that.
McCurdy made motion, seconded by Thompson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 4-0. And we will return at 9:59.
Let me know if you guys need me later for anything, I'll be downstairs.
Give me a week off, or you're not practice.
Dang it. Gotta wait a few seconds. I got 2 minutes. Okay, we're good. Back in open session.
For our office, I just want to let you guys know that we have to take classes from property valuation, and I'm going to hand out our 2026 class education course catalog, just so that you know when we're going to class or something, what we're going for. And then I'm also handing out compliance information that the property valuation has me complete by certain dates. So I thought maybe you guys might be, and then there's some appraisal information, appraisers.
So you have to do continuing education every year or
Every year. I have to do 120 hours every 4 years.
every 4 years?
And
What about other employees in your office? Does everybody have to do it?
everybody has, we have to go send a class so that we can keep them up to date on their job because things change.
So you need 120 hours of continuing education every 4 years?
Yes, I do, because I'm a registered master appraiser.
Okay.
And then I also want to let you know that my 2025 ratio study I got last week, and from raising the values like I did last week, my residential median is at 91.13, which is supposed to be between 90 and 110. We're at 91, so we're still
On the low end?
low end.
Low end of where you can be.
Yes, the commercial was at 115, but that's because I only had 5 commercial sales. So, but my ratio, my COD is still in, so both of them are in compliance with property valuation.
Explain what happens if you don't meet that standard?
I don't know if they do it anymore. They used to be able to come in. They can, but they're trying not to anymore. They can come in and take the county over.
But is that very likely? I'm just
They've done
asking.
it before, yes. They have done it in the past. But they're kind of short-staffed right now, so they're trying to keep appraisers in the counties so that they don't have to come in. But they have taken over some counties, yes.
But that's not a given.
They probably have to replace or try to work with the appraiser to get them back into
So
compliance.
I was just curious.
Right. They try more nowadays to try to keep the appraisers in compliance, trying to keep help if we need help or whatever, but we do have rules that we have to follow.
Sure.
So I
I was just wondering what the consequences would be if you said, no, I'm not
Yeah.
going to.
Yeah. We would be out of compliance probably.
Well, if they did that, then they would do the appraisals.
Yes,
in
they
our
would have to
county,
come in and do
correct?
the appraisal and, yeah. Just letting you know what.
No, I was just curious
That's
on
fine.
what would happen if you say no more.
Okay, question on the valuation notices went out.
Mhm.
What's the last day that people can request hearings?
March 31st.
March 31st.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had many people request
I think we
hearings?
have like 5 hearings right now.
It's probably better this year than it was
Yes,
last year.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So, awesome.
Any other questions?
Any other questions for Connie?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Are we in favor of taking a quick break? Okay, let's take a 10-minute break, I guess. Be back at 10:12.
Bring too much coffee as it is.
All right, 10:12, we're back in open session. And next on the agenda is Road and Bridge Superintendent Ryan Durst.
Good morning.
Good morning. What do you have for us today?
A few motions. So, I find it hard to believe, but we did get called out on a tree down last night, so I'm sure we had a few more today that we found, but little breezy yesterday.
It was.
So the first motion, gonna go out for bid for some asphalt for a couple of intersections down there at Leroy. And so we're gonna, basically the one there at the Co-op, California Street, where it turns south. And then also Shetland Road and 58 where it turns north on the Shetland Road. Those are intersections, we worked on them several years ago. Constantly doing maintenance on them, so we're gonna beat them up, which they need. We're looking at taking out 10 inches and putting 10 inches of asphalt back. Just kind of the recommendations to get them beefed up.
So like, for instance, the one on Shetland there, so that doesn't involve 58 highway itself, it's like our approach to it?
Well, it's the approach up to 58 highway, so.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we maintain up to 58 highway there.
But we don't do anything
We don't tie into, no, we don't tie into 58.
That's, I don't know if there's anything to be done, that's.
Well, and some of that will be addressed, you know, that, we'll get that dip built up just a little bit, but then on that one, we're also gonna go into the north, we'll be milling that. There's kind of a hump, there's a hump in there.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna have that taken down, and milled out, so we'll be going back like, I think it's 250 feet, for that transition.
Yeah, if that could be a little more
Yeah,
gradual and.
yeah, absolutely.
Cause like high profile trucks, like their feed trucks or
Yeah.
hay trucks and stuff, they rock pretty good when
Yeah.
you turn that corner.
So no, I mean, that swag will get built up just a little bit. I mean, there's some drainage that has to flow through there coming from the east, but really getting that hump leading down into there, getting rid of that is gonna help tremendously.
That would sure help, yeah.
Okay. I would entertain a motion based upon the recommendation of the Road and Bridge Superintendent to request to solicit sealed bids for A 2601-C hot mix asphalt project milling and 10 inches of hot mix at overlay at California Street and 58 Highway South intersection and Shetland Road and 58 Highway North intersection. Funds to be paid from Special Highway Improvement Fund. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, McCurry seconded. Any discussion? Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 4-0.
Alright, thank you. The next motion is we're looking at getting, doing a little work on our entryway into the shop down there. Getting a canopy put on the outside there. We have issues with water, some hard driving rains and whatnot, and it's just we need something to protect that doorway and on the entryway. And so this is with Evergreen. That's kind of who we've done work with. The addition was built and some other metal work down there. And so this is the price we got from them. Basically it'd be for like a 14 or 15 foot wide canopy, out probably 4 or 5 feet off the entryway, and it'll tie in to the existing building basically.
You have water coming under the door now.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you seek any other bids other than
We
Evergreen?
didn't. We've had, I mean, Evergreen we've had really good luck with, so.
And there, that bid's kind of in line with what you think it should be.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable for sure.
Okay, I would entertain a motion based upon the recommendation of the Road and Bridge Superintendent to approve the quote to provide and install a canopy in front of main entry of a highway department from Evergreen for a price of $8,938. Funds to be paid from the general fund capital outlay.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Thompson moved, McCurry second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Anybody opposed? It passes 4-0.
All right, thank you. Next is a motion looking at having some painting done, on our entryway inside the office there. There's a little bit of not concrete, sheet rock work we need to do just where the sheet rock's been wet in there. And so, once this awning gets put up, we'll get that sheet rock work done, and then looking at doing some repainting in there. So went out and got some prices. I don't know if I sent up bid sheets on this or not, but basically went out and got 3 bids, and they were anywhere from a little less than $7,000 up to $20,000 on bids. So this is just looking to approve this bid here for Sharp Painting.
So that reflects the drywall and the painting, is that right?
This isn't gonna be the drywall, so I mean, the drywall is gonna, I think it's like $900 if we have, they included it in a bid, but we may just be doing the drywall ourselves.
Okay.
Undecided on that portion of it, but this is just strictly for the paint here.
Can you do the painting yourself?
I mean, I would like to have professionals do it and get a better job done.
Any other questions? I'd entertain a motion based upon the recommendation of the Road and Bridge Superintendent to approve the bids for paint and labor for front office at Highway Department to Sharp Painting for a total price of $6,675, funds to be paid from the general fund capital outlay line item.
I'd make that motion.
I'll second. Any other discussion? Not to exceed $675. Yeah, you can make it to not exceed $6,675. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Passes 4-0.
All right, thank you. Next, kind of a similar line there, some flooring. So the entryway where our flooring's from being wet, where it's coming up. And then we have some carpeting in some of the offices that's worn out in the heavy tracked area, and it's even coming apart in some places. And so we went out, got some bids to replace some flooring. So we'll be looking at a vinyl plank flooring for the entryway and the hallway down through our main office. And then on the reducing carpeting in some of the side offices. And this style of carpeting is like the carpet tiles that are replaceable. So the idea is the high traffic areas down the road, you can replace them, or just replace pieces as needed.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion based upon the recommendation of the Road and Bridge Superintendent to approve the bids for flooring for the front office at Highway Department to Edgecombe Flooring for a total price of $15,705.67. Funds to be paid from the general fund capital outlay line item.
Can we do this in 2 steps? This year do the laminate, next year do the carpet?
I mean, we probably could. You know, this is something we've kind of been planning for a couple of years. We've budgeted for it for a couple of years, and you know, I think we decided to pull the trigger this year and get it done.
We're dropping $31,000 right here.
Correct. I mean, it's been in our capital improvement funds, and so we've kind of been pushing towards it, and we would like to get this done now.
How many bids did you get on this job?
We got 3. Edgecombe Flooring for $15,705.67. Carpet and Moore out of Emporia, Edgecomb's out of Garnett. Carpet and Moore is $16,151.43, and then one from Knight Carpentry for $27,732. That's out of Lebo.
Any other questions on that? Okay, I will make that motion that I read, or I can reread it.
No, you read it, yeah. I'll second that.
Thompson seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 4-0.
That is the motions I had. The only other thing I have, I've got a support letter done, for that nuclear reactor, just kind of the roadside of it. We talked about that, so I'm gonna have Keith review that. Jenny kind of sent me some stuff that she had, so, just letter of support, and hopefully get that finished up this week.
You say you had one call out yesterday or last night?
Yeah, one call out about 8:30, 9 o'clock last night.
Where was that at?
23rd and Capper, just a mile north of my house, and wound up just putting a couple barricades with lights on it for last night, and pretty good sized tree, and I mean, it was kind of hanging up some other trees. I thought about starting to hack on it. I had another guy with me, and we wound up just calling the road closed and just dealt with it in the daylight, so. Yeah, you never know when you get those calls. Sometimes they say there's a big tree down, you go down, and you can remove it by hand, but this wasn't the case here. So. No, I had a neighbor call me and said that, look, yeah, it's big. I mean, I don't know, the trunk was probably about a little over 2 feet, so it was a good sized tree. But.
All right. Any other questions for Ryan? Right.
All right, appreciate
Thank you
it.
for coming in.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your week.
You too. You want to leave that for stuff or?
Yeah, I can bring it up. We can talk about it while you're here, just in case.
Okay. Wade. We have you on the agenda for a executive session, or do you want to talk about something else before then?
Well, while Ryan's still here, it's more of a roundtable issue.
Okay.
But it probably is something that can be discussed right now. So I'm handing out a packet. As you know, there's a pending street closure, there's a pending road closure, and then there are 2 pending disaster declaration requests. The 2 disaster declaration requests are with the appraiser's office while they analyze and provide the appraiser documentation that prorates the abatement or credit amount. The road closure request is sort of sitting idle right now. I've been contacted by one individual who has agreed to be a road viewer, and I believe that was at the request of Steve.
Yes.
Tim Sipe, I need 2 more, and why that's important.
I contacted Robert Harkrader. He's good with being a road viewer. If that will work.
Okay.
Yeah, watched the meeting on YouTube and called Kerry Trossel last night. He would be willing to be one.
Okay.
There's 3.
So if you can get me their contact information, and then I need to work with schedules. I know Tim Sipe is one. He indicated he wouldn't be available until mid to late April, which is fine with the timelines that need to be set and established. But to make sure everybody's available, it's gonna require going out to that site. Each of you are gonna have to go, you're gonna have to take the show on the road. The county surveyor is gonna have to be there, and then go through that whole.
So it will be the entire commission with the three
Yep.
road viewers also, and
Yep.
all of us together, okay?
Yep. Tentatively in on the calendar, I looked at somewhere in the neighborhood of late April, early May, just to fine tune and make sure everybody's calendars, work together. So once I'm able to make contact with the other two, road viewers, then I can coordinate with their schedules and I'll have a better idea of what I need to present to you, but that's that. What I just handed out to you deals with the street. The request to close or vacate a street or a portion of a street located in an unincorporated area of the county. So if you look at the second and third page of what I handed out, the third page, second page is a map that I created, just trying to put this together. The third page is a map where I kind of wrote in names and what I originally thought was the property line, and showing it to Ryan. I was a little bit off. I looked at the original request and the map that was provided to me. So if you're looking straight on at the map, at the very top end of where the black marks are, that should actually be at the property line where it shows 147.7. So that should go across, straight across here. And why that matters is, at your request, if you go a few pages back. Does that make sense, what I just said about the property line?
Yeah, I see what you're talking about now.
Okay. Immediately following that is a picture from the Register of Deeds office of the final plat of the Hillview subdivision. So it shows you, although it never made it to this final plat, that is actually a street. It's a platted street, at least in the design.
So it looks like a frontage, or not
Right.
frontage, but a utility road.
Yeah, so, and you have to go with what this.
Sure.
So that's that. Immediately following that is the property description, and need to thank Ryan and Kenny Roney for doing that, because they end up doing that, and there's quite a few of those that are moving in the background. Immediately following that are letters that I want you to make sure you're okay with what they say. There are letters going out to the petitioner, and then there's one that has an X through it, and why it has an X through it is the original property line that is in the original drawing. That individual is an adjoining landowner, well, they're not, once we make that correction. So I would not send a letter to them, and basically the letter is just to notify. The others are, and it indicates that they're getting a letter as a courtesy. They would also get a copy of the notice that you would approve. So there's two landowners, and then because we don't know the answer to whether this property is something that the city of New Strong would be interested in providing input or feedback, it may, for extraterritorial reasons, be subject to their subdivision regulations, so they're required to be provided notice. So the letter indicates it's going to the mayor of New Strong and then their zoning administrator. And then immediately following that is the property record card for the adjoining landowners. So if you're okay with that, the first thing is the page 1 is the notice. And the notice, I take the liberty so that it could be, it has to be published at least one time and at least 20 days prior to the date of a formal hearing. As you see in the notice, I suggested or put out April 27th, just that's plenty of time. I would suggest it be published, although it says at least one time, 2 times. You can pick what you think works the best, and then the only other thing that would need to be changed is at the very bottom in the approved language. It has that it was approved for publication in an open session by unanimous vote. I would change that to a 4-0 vote, because Commissioner Avendroff is not here.
Is there any protest on this, anybody against doing this?
I don't know,
I don't know yet.
that ends up being what the notice gets sent out for. So,
If anybody's vocal about it.
as you see in, for example, in the letter to the city of New Strong, in that paragraph, you're being notified as required by KSA 58-2613 because the land subject to the petition may be located within an area subject to the subdivision regulations of the city of New Strong. Under KSA 58-2614, no such vacation shall be granted if the governing body of any city having subdivision regulations applicable to the area in which the property is located shall protest against such vacation. So there's, if it applies and the city of New Strong wants to, they have protest abilities, and they're required to be noticed. And then the adjoining landowners also in that same statutory sequence has the ability to send a written objection to the Coffee County clerk in advance of the hearing.
So the people on the north of where they're at here, this row and Nip, they have access from the north side, I'm guessing. I mean, there's not a street being used here currently, right?
No.
But they, I mean, I'm assuming their property line is between those two lines. I mean, I guess it's an open street, but they have access from the north end, I'm sure.
Correct. And my understanding is that Ryan he's been out there on the part between, I have to reorient myself, to the north. There are trees in the middle of where the unplatted street is located, as well as some sort of structure on one of the...
There's some really close, and, I mean, I know I initially reached out when they requested this to be closed, and with the idea of maybe closing that entire street, but the people up north weren't in favor of closing back there, because there is, maybe they access one house on one portion on the north side up there.
I see.
It's not a utility easement, is it?
It just originally platted as a street. It never became a full usable street, paved, I guess, or otherwise. But it's sort of interesting that going back in time, KSA 58-2613 and that statutory mechanism to close a street, this is the second time within 2 years that a request has been made in an unincorporated area of the county, because typically this would happen within a city. Then, so, and it had not occurred, and I don't know if there's any other records in the county that I can find that covers this situation. So we just did it last year with Jacob Street. Now here we are doing it again.
Yeah.
But it's an entirely different statutory mechanism.
Yeah.
I have one correction that probably should be made on the New Strong letter. Actually, two.
Okay.
The mayor's name, the last name is spelled Haas. Hong.
So, I wondered.
2 A's instead of
Yep.
2 S's.
Nope, good catch.
And it's in 2 places that I could see there, so.
Yep. I will, make those changes.
That's the only thing I see.
Spent, worked on this and tried to fine tune it with the letters, for a few hours yesterday, among other things. So outside of that, if you're okay with the date and time and what's been presented, for the notice, which is on page 1, if you're okay with April 27th, and you can pick the 2 days when you want for publication to occur, then I can put that also in the notice. You can approve the publication or the notice today, and then I'll provide it to the paper. I'll get my signature, get Angie to sign off on it. So it's March, if you want to say 3/26.
And April 2nd.
If you want to back it off to the 16th, which would be a little bit before the 27th, that way if somebody doesn't catch it the first 2 times, then there's one closer to the date of the hearing.
That's fine.
So 3/26 and 4/16.
Casey's typing up a motion for us. Okay.
Oh, hold on, I need a date in there probably.
Okay.
And I might just, since we picked dates, to go ahead and put the date of publication, 3/26/26 and April 16/26, somewhere in there.
What dates did you say?
3/26 and 4/16.
April 16th, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, 16th. Here, have a sec. Needs, you got with publication dates ahead of that. That's
I think that's all I need you for. Thank you.
okay. Ready for a motion? Entertain a motion to approve the notice of publication regarding petition filed to vacate/close a street or a portion of the street located within an unincorporated area of Coffee County, which is a portion of Rodney Street in the Hillview subdivision, pursuant to KSA 58-2613 et sec, with publication dates March 26, 2026 and April 16, 2026, with a hearing to be held on Monday, April 27th, 2026 at 10 a.m.
I'll move.
Second. Okay, Thompson moved, Parker seconded. Any further discussion on this matter? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 4-0. That's in motion. You're welcome. Okay, what else do you have, Wade?
Next is the executive session. It's for non-elected personnel. It's for, mainly be to cover, information protected by HIPAA.
Okay, how many minutes do you need?
10.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to enter into executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the commissioners and County Councilor Wade Bowie II to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel regarding information protected by HIPAA under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319 B1.
So moved.
Second.
Parker moved, Curry seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0, and we will return at 10:57. Still got a few seconds.
Okay.
Guess it doesn't matter if we're back on, just so we don't start
Yeah.
the meeting, correct?
There, we're back in. No action taken following that executive session. Okay, guess we're in round table. And we're still on you, Wade.
I've got one more executive session that sort of came up last minute, so I couldn't get it on the agenda, but I'd say 15 minutes. It's legal advice under the attorney-client, legal advice regarding a county legal issue. And myself and the board.
There,
There we go.
even fast now.
Okay. Entertain a motion to enter into executive session for 15 minutes to include each of the commissioners and County Councilor Wade Bowie II to discuss matters deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship regarding a county legal issue under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319 B2.
I'll make that motion.
Second that.
Okay, with further ado, Thompson seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Passes 4-0. We will return at 11:16. Did I say 11:16?
Yep.
Oh, 11:16, we are back in open session. No action following that executive session. Wait, do you have anything else?
Don't have anything else for, well, the only other thing behind the scenes, I've been working on the phase 2 part of the renovation on the court side. To save money, originally there was a group that had agreed to construct and build pews in the new courtroom. If you've been online or you've looked, there's a number of churches mainly that are looking at getting rid of and renovating and going to something different. I've been watching to see if there's a way to cut costs and not have that seating constructed from brand new and reutilize or repurpose some pews, and then talk with Ron Strotter and see if he would agree to refinish, and it would be not a substantial cost savings, but it would be enough of a cost savings. So I've identified a location that is willing to give approximately 30 church pews to the county for $0, free. They're renovating, and their criteria was you have to come and get them all, you have to take them all yourself. So I've actually communicated with that individual and then did so again with the sheriff, because we have to go to the Kansas City area to pick them up. And that's in the works behind the scenes. So I just want you to be aware, and it may be a request, since that they're not charging anything other than, our time and labor to go pick them up, that there may be consideration by the board for something to them, or, although they're free, they have it is a church.
Yes, yeah, it's a church.
I don't want to have bad
Mojo.
bad karma from. So I just want you to be aware, and for those who are on the outside to be aware, that efforts are made at all times to try to save the taxpayers of the county money by doing things and being creative this way. It may seem minor and insignificant, but it's significant, and a lot of extra work that goes into it to make sure and see that it happens.
How many pews are involved? I'm just curious.
Are needed, you know.
Are needed, yeah.
So there's either 3 or 4 rows on each side in the courtroom, and then several of those are longer, several of those are shorter because it needs to be ADA compliant when someone comes in with a wheelchair. And then there needs to be a row for, in front of the divide between where council sits and where the public sits, for either inmates or witnesses to sit both behind defense counsel and behind the prosecutor's table. So we estimated, we didn't need any more than 20 pews, and 20 would allow us to store some in case later down the road, but they want us to take all of them, so we'll have some spare parts to use if something happens later on down the road. And if that's probably a good problem to have. I have communicated with several different places that had posted pews, and each time I was too late, that they were already gone. And this one I jumped on. I mean, you gotta jump fast and make decisions quick and make a commitment, because apparently they're hot commodities. People like putting them in their house, in their garage. I don't know. And we want it. I think these are solid oak or whatever it is. So.
Well, I suppose if you have a specific length or something, that could be altered on those, for those certain areas, like for the wheelchair and different things you mentioned.
And we checked with Ron Schroeder to see if we needed a certain length, and he said he could take care of that. So,
Okay.
Trying to keep, one of the things we try to focus on with a lot of things is keeping business local if we can, and having local business entities participate and be a part of things, and that's one way of doing that.
Is this a local church in the area? I mean, what's the distance we'd have to go pick them up?
That's about an hour and a half away.
Okay.
So we're gonna.
It's not huge then.
Well, I looked in the Fayetteville, Arkansas area, and I had somebody who I was working with there. I mean, that's a little further away, but we were willing to go as far as we needed to go to get what we needed to get. And just the coordination and logistics was part of it. So we have the sheriff and I were willing to kind of set up a team and go, and that's ultimately what we're going to do, is figure out a time that works, and we'll take the show on the road and go get what we need to get.
Sounds good.
So the only other update that I'll have for you, I've gone up to the north property I'd sent law enforcement up to go and check it out and to record it on body cam. In doing so, discovered that the power wasn't on, took care of the power, and while doing so, law enforcement, Eric Smith, had graciously taken his time to do that, discovered that the front door wasn't locking, so we had to sort that out. Ended up, ironically, watching a YouTube video on that style of door, which is an oversized door, and it was user error. There's a special trick for that door where you have to do something special with the door handle, because it has not only your lock where your door handle is, but it has these prongs that come out about a third of the way down on the top of the door and a third of the way down from the bottom up to lock it in.
Multiple latches, basically.
I've never had a door like that, so it was.
Well, now you know.
Well, now I know. So we went out and we were able to secure it. I have the keys. I have a garage door remote. I actually walked each floor. I took a video. There's nothing that, I mean, it's in good shape. There's not anything that is at issue. Originally, because the power was off, there was water on the pool cover. Once the power came back on, it immediately pulled the water off, and it's in good shape.
Okay.
There's two of the toilets in the downstairs area that may need to be looked at because I don't know, that they have water in them. Outside of that, I didn't see anything. I've got videos of the upstairs, the downstairs, and then the shop. And if you want to see them, let me know. I just wanted to get a video so I knew what it looked like on the inside, you knew what it looked like on the inside. And if you have any issues, concerns, or anything like that, then they can be addressed. But I wanted to document any damage, anything that occurred. I didn't see anything inside, outside. What that also means is, unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you look at it, there's a lot of grass to cut there. And back before somebody was there, I had taken around, both the sheriff and I had gone up and cut that grass, and I know it takes a long time to cut it. There's just a lot of grass. Not with today's weather, but with the rain and warming up, the grass is starting to get green, and it's just a matter of time before it is going to need to be taken care of and addressed. Ryan told me it's going to be very soon, he's going to have that property description. I'm bringing it up now because I would suggest that whoever is going to appraise it, and I suggest you get 3 people to appraise it, they provide their input to the county, and then the county establish the reserve for whatever the property is going to sell for. That's number one. Number two, figure out how you want to market it, whether you want to market it internally, do that through economic development, if you want to do that through, you want to reach out to someone like Cameron Roth or somebody else and see if they want to do it, and what that would be. The downside is that there ends up being a commission, but for example, with Cameron on several properties, one property didn't charge anything, that was the Meadows. The 2 hospital properties, he had a cap on what his commission would be. I think it was a total of $5,000 between the 2 properties, if I remember right. I don't know what it would be for something like that, but time is of the essence on that one, because you're going to start spending more money to have the yard taken care of. My opinion is the pool needs to be, the pool company needs to be out there, see that it's up and running and operational. That tension between whether you shut it down and you just close it. I think if you're a potential buyer, you're going to want to make sure that it's functioning properly, so you don't end up with that headache. I did pull the pool cover off to see what it looked like underneath, and it works and functions the way that it should. It needs to be cleaned and whatever the seasonal maintenance on it is. I had a pool years ago, and I learned at that time the best kind of pool to have is a friend with a pool, because I won't ever have one again, but others have better success with pools, and I think that pool,
it's set up right.
It's set up right, and the company that was maintaining it was doing it on a regular basis, and there were no issues that I was aware of. So that's what I want you to chew on and consider. I've got some names that I have in mind that I know do well. I know one for certain does appraisals. You each may have names that come to mind. Just pick 3 and have them go out and, you know, there's gonna be a cost associated with that, but I think that's the right way to do it, so you at least can establish that baseline number for a reserve, and then figure out what it is you wanna do for the eventual marketing and sale of that property. And I don't know what that right answer is.
I just reiterate my thoughts, is I think you're selling public property, you need to auction it. Everybody needs to have an opportunity to try to buy. I think that's the only, you know, cause you list it, you put an asking price, and then first thing you know, well, I would've gave more if I'd have had the opportunity. I think everybody needs to have the opportunity.
With an open auction, why, it gives everybody a chance that is interested to come in and bid on it.
Yeah.
There needs to be advertised where it's a national deal, because it's such a nice property.
Yeah.
You just can't have it just
Yeah.
Coffee County folks.
Oh, no.
That's right.
It needs to be.
Out there on the internet.
And going towards that, Cameron does a really nice job of getting stuff out. He,
That would be my preference.
yeah, mine also, but I just know that from dealing with him on some past stuff that he's.
But I agree with you. I think it'd be worth our money for the size of the property to get at least 2 or 3 appraisals.
We've discussed that several times, so I mean, I think we're all in agreement then. I mean,
Yeah.
as far as disposal, you go the public auction route, and we'll determine a minimum bid based on appraisal we will get by getting 3 appraisals.
Thomas and that figure would be amongst us when we decided it, and then.
Yeah. We've just been waiting on the legal description, but I think we're
Getting
close
really
enough
close,
now.
really close on that.
That we can move forward and, with your permission, to start at least, getting some thoughts and ideas, talk to some people and see if they'd be willing to do it. Can at least explore with Cameron, if he'd be interested in what that would look like, or, I mean, based on what he says, you may wanna go in a different direction, and I don't know, I just wanna have a playbook ready to start calling plays.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Or if there's any other ideas, I mean, I'm, sooner better than later.
I think we're all in agreement.
I was
Direction we
gonna
want
say,
it,
if you
so.
wanna get together sometime later this week and figure out who to get ahold of or whatever, I mean,
Okay.
we'll get that going.
And if you wanna see the videos, if you want me to put them up on the screen, and the top floor is 5 minutes, downstairs is 5 minutes. I think inside the shop and that area is probably 5 minutes, so a total of 15 minutes.
That could be a good advertising tool when it's put out on the market.
Yeah.
If I don't make you sick by me walking around.
Motion sickness.
I tried to do a good job of staying steady, and I tested and I can cast it from my phone up onto the TV if needed.
Sure. It's up to you guys.
I know.
Would you rather do that some other time, or?
Sure. It doesn't matter to me, or just any time.
I'll get together with you and then we can come up with the game plan.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right. Well, 2 things on the Baylor place. One, did Road and Bridge or did Sheriff's, somebody burn around the house? Do you know anything about that?
Birds around the house.
Yeah. I called Aaron Skillman when it was described to me. I haven't seen it, but I thought maybe he burnt around it just in case he wanted to burn off the brome and everything. He said the only thing he'd done was fertilize the grass. So I didn't know if anybody knew that. And then the other thing, is there 2 meters out there?
Yes.
Did we pay for one of the meters? County did?
In going through the power, what was learned was the house was on a meter and then the shop was on a meter, and the power to the house had been cut off. The power to the shop had not.
Was it the power to the shop under
SSM's name, or is the county paying that?
I haven't had a chance to look into it. My understanding is it may have been in the county.
The shop.
Yep.
The shop.
But wasn't SSM using the shop?
Yes. So, it's on my to-do list to explore. I just never saw a utility bill, so I'm not sure where that would have gone and who it would have been processed through.
Okay, well, sorry I missed last week. It looks like you guys took care of some good business and got some things done. Hopefully that'll help our healthcare deal with the actions you took there. Stacy was in and visited with you folks at the hospital, and touched on the new surgeon they have, Dr. Landry, and I had an appointment with him, and that's who I had the procedure with last Monday, and the whole thing was perfect. Everything went good. I sure highly recommend him to anyone. I felt very comfortable with his care. So that's all I've got.
Nope, I don't have anything.
Okay. I have, Four Rivers, they notify us that they're having their annual meeting, next Monday, March 23rd, at the Anderson Building in Peoria. Anyway, they're inviting county commissioners, whatever, if you would like to go. I can pass this around, or we can do it through correspondence next week also, I guess.
Okay.
Or put that on a correspondence sheet or whatever. I want to make sure everybody's aware of that, so
yeah.
If you want to go. Tim Johnson, our lobbyist, called me last week, wanted to make sure commissioners knew that KNRC will be having a meeting April 21st in Hutchinson at 6 o'clock. Location to be determined, but he said he will be going out there, and he has room for, if one of the commissioners wants to go out there, that he has room for one to ride with him.
Okay.
Of course, anybody else can go too, I
Yeah.
suppose, but.
I might try to go.
And he also said that House Bill 2433 passed the Senate on Friday, the state Senate. That's one about the water rights, or not rights, but out there at Hayes. I can't remember all the details of that. I don't know if you guys have been following it or not. It
I
basically
read that.
takes a right away from the counties and gives the state.
And it passed for them to do that?
The
Take it away.
Senate. I don't know if it passed the House already.
Hadn't it already gone through the House?
Actually, I think it had already gone through the House. That might have been the final then.
Something to do with an aquifer, isn't it?
Yes. Hayes was basically running out of water, and they reached out to Edwards County, and Edwards County sold them so many thousands of square foot of water. Well, then it got tied up in the state because of some regulations. So, it's been a 10-year process.
I see.
Well, anyway, there's details of that somewhere. I don't know enough about it to really talk about it, I suppose.
I understand.
Speaking of House bills, you guys really need to read in on House Bill 2728. They're wanting to take away all powers of local control on, and give it to the KCC on determining if you want a nuclear plant or if you're wanting a natural gas generator. We can't have the moratorium like we've got on the solar, and they would make the decisions for the county. I don't think it's getting very good backing. KAC is fighting it.
Yeah, they are.
Everybody wants that.
But there's a lot of energy companies that are really pushing this. And I really, truly believe that giving that much power to a non-elected entity such as the KCC is not right.
It's a horrible idea.
Yeah.
It puts it all in the governor's hand because she appoints the board of that. And I reached out to everybody that I could think of, saying, I don't want that.
We need less government control, more
They're
local
trying to
control.
they're trying to push us out of our local control.
Yep.
That's right.
And our lobbyist Mike Taylor is, I mean, that group is totally
Yes.
against it.
Yes, very much so.
Yep.
I've read on that.
He sure is.
Oh, and then I also, last week on Wednesday, I guess that was the 11th, I went with Jenny, and also representatives, I guess Todd, you were busy, or,
Yeah.
Superintendent Dustin Wilson and, Lebo Principal Melissa Beach. All four of us went up to Kansas Department of Commerce. They had a luncheon, I guess, for award presentation of the CDBG grants for that. So we got a check for over $600,000 for the Lebo, project. So that went well.
Great.
Good lunch.
Yeah. Lunch wasn't too bad. Anyway, I believe that's all I have. And, Casey, do you?
We sent off all of our Capers 457 information, so we're just waiting to hear back from Lynn to get us all set up. So, he responded and let us know that he's gonna be sending us a packet, and, hopefully sometime in May we'll be set up and we'll be ready to start taking contributions.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I don't believe I have anything else. Anybody else have anything? If not, I guess we will adjourn at 11:41.
Very good.
Yeah.